Have you ever watched Star Wars and thought, pause, I wonder what it's like on that star right there? Is it cold? Are there any Jedi there? Is Boog sorry? Well, what if I told you that that question can now be answered by a video game? Actually, a few games. And yes, Boog is very sorry. Enter No Man's Sky. Created by a small indie group, they promised to bring a lot to the table, and when the game finally came out, we got one of the most interesting video game stories to date. A story that we'll be diving into right now. Enter the vindication of No Man's Sky. Don't forget to subscribe. On December 9th, 2013, we got our first official announcement from Hello Games, a small indie group located in London or something like that. Say a prayer, guys. Enter No Man's Sky, a space travel / exploration / something else, I forget the word, game where every planet you see, every star you can think of, every galaxy you can fly by can be traveled to and explored. It's an awesome idea. Each and every planet was procedurally generated, so everything you saw was truly a unique environment. Talk about an awesome idea, this is great. The game promised a lot, but could this small, relatively unheard of, unless you're a huge Joe Danger fan, company pull through and deliver what could be one of the coolest games of all time? If handled right? Well, just keep watching. On August 9th, 2016, we finally got the game. They had roughly 2.5 years after the first announcement to bring us what they claimed was in the oven, but was it good? Well, after the first week, the reviews were in, and they weren't what we were hoping for. Mixed reviews. It was a big meh. People praised the concept, but it didn't get the best reviews when it comes to the gameplay and quality of the game. Now, not long after that first week, however, the game got bombed with bad reviews, going from mixed reviews to overwhelmingly negative on Steam. Yikes. People did not seem to like this game. A lot of the reviews mentioned the quality of the game being very low, like bugs and glitches, and we all know how much of a pain that can be when a recently released game is full of glitches. Here's a tissue, Cyberpunk. And other reviews had mentioned that the game felt as if it was quantity over quality. At the time, the game had roughly 18 quintillion, no, I'm not making that word up, explorable planets. But players said that after 10, 15 or so, it just felt repetitive. No Man's Sky also lacked a story in the way that a game like this needed. People said that there just didn't seem to be any kind of progression. Like, you play this game, and that's about it. A well-handled story could have held this game together in a way that was not only really needed, but could have mega, super, I don't know, poopy greatly boosted this game's quality. So, we've got a game that was promised to be something great, but when it comes out, it was a bug-filled, repetitive, and unrewarding game. Not the greatest combo there, but the story isn't over. Now, while this situation definitely feels like the perfect fail, Hello Games had another idea in mind. The small indie company decided to try and bring the game back. Because after all, this is a project that they felt passionately about, and it deserved the extra time, money, and care. And only a couple years later, we got it. This is crazy. Okay, I gotta stop recording for this. Alright, there we go. Hey, Newcastle. Hey, PGG. Dude, I don't know why you're calling, but you gotta help me out with something. And what's that? Pretty much all of my friends say that I'm Newcastle, that I'm you. And why would those eager beavers do that? I don't know, I think it's some kind of inside joke, but oh man, every time I see some of them, it's like nothing but, hey, Newcastle, or oh, look, it's Newcastle. Interesting. Well, you tell those eager beavers, wherever they are, to stop or I'll have to solve this personally. Thanks, Newcastle. Like, I'd be fine if they called me Revenant since we have the same personality and occupation. I mean, we don't do that, it's just crazy, but I appreciate it. Have a good one, man. Newcastle? Hello? Oh, why did I think something like this was gonna happen? Oh my god. Just subscribe. September 1st, 2021, Hello Games released the Frontier expansion. This was a free, massive update for the game that fixed some things. Now, I will be clear and mention that there were updates before the Frontier update and after. This one just so happens to be like the biggest. So now, not only could you explore 18 quintillion different planets, but you could also settle down and create bases on them. Not only that, but there is an entire new race of aliens out there. Not only that, but combat was overhauled and very much improved. Not only that, but there are now nebulae out in space, creating some of the most stunning skies in video game history. And that's just a Frontier update. Other updates that were also free added more diversity when it comes to landscapes, colors, materials, all of it. So now those 18 quintillion planets were different from each other. Farming is a new feature, vehicles, an updated story, new creatures, VR support, and multiplayer features, ship customization, updated graphics and visuals, and pets. And I must mention, that's not all of what they added. About 18 free quality content packed updates for No Man's Sky. So after all of this, what was the player feedback? Well, PC gamers said that this was a major step forward for No Man's Sky and one that makes the game feel more alive than ever before. Nice. And the reviews on Steam seem to change a bit, from overwhelmingly negative to mostly positive, and it only continues to go up every day. It seems as if Hello Games was able to turn this story around. From what would have been a terrible and sad story to one that strikes awe and hope into the hearts of those who dare to gaze. Okay, I don't know where that came from. So, a note to all the AAA companies out there, just because your game fails and flops, don't turn your back on it. Because everything you spent your time in, put your passion into, deserves to get that extra little push, which might take a little more money, which might take some extra time, might even take some more passion, but it deserves to get that extra push to see the light of the world above the clouds. We all know that AAA companies out there have the money, maybe even the time, but do they have the passion as a small indie group? Do they have the same passion as a family-run business, the same passion as two brothers, the same passion as the boys or a friend group? Do they have the same passion, the same care, the same love as the regular Joe? Simply put, Hello Games was a small indie group who set out with big intentions and plans. And when they released the game and got bad reviews, they didn't turn their notifications off. They listened and only improved over the years, not putting a price tag on all the updates to make sure they get that extra little cash like every single other modern AAA company out there in the world, but just genuinely putting the care necessary to see their game shine. An amazing success story if you ask me. A lesson to fellow companies? Sure, but a note to all people out there. Your time, your passion, your love and money is worth that little extra to see it shine. So, what do you think? I've got a lot of new, exciting, fun videos coming out very soon, so stay tuned for that. And you know what? Why the heck not announce it just a little bit early? PGG Season 3 starts soon, and I might not be waiting for January 1st. Just saying. And Elden Ring. If you don't subscribe, and I mean right now, then these giant rats will be renting out your home this winter, pay free. And I hope by now I've made up for my mistake, and I will be forgiven someday, fellow Tarnished. I know my voice is a little weird right now. I just got over the cold. Those new videos and exciting videos I got coming up soon will not be affected by this voice. I love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and remember, life is short. Play great games. If you were even around for the early 2000s, then you'll probably be somewhat familiar with Bungie's timeless masterpiece. Investigating the mysterious Halo was a Master Chief, first picking up a story that would stay with you for the rest of your life. Now that might sound amazing, but playing video games these days is far from. For instance, taking a nice evening stroll in Night City